All right, good afternoon or good morning, everybody. My name is Patience Wilson. I'm the Digital Marketing Manager here at CribMaster. And today we are super excited to bring you this new FlipTop Lunch and Learn. So today we're going to be going over a quick presentation about FlipTop, answer all your burning questions, and then we're going to do an exclusive hardware demo and walkthrough. This is something that we haven't done on any of the other FlipTop Lunch and Learn, so you guys are in for a treat. And then after that, there's going to be some time for some Q&A with all of our experts on the line. So today with me, I have Cavell Benjamin, who is our product and UX lead. We have Dritan Tola, who is our European education and training specialist. We have Monica Ziba, who's our administrative assistant, and she's going to be assisting me with some of the questions. We have Melanie Lozada, who is our project manager for FlipTop. We have Katie McDonald, who is our product manager for FlipTop. And then we have Chris Lambert, who is our software lead for FlipTop as well. So just a couple of notes before we go ahead and get started. We do have a very diverse panel of experts here on the line. So if you're, I know I'm speaking English right now, but if you're not comfortable asking a question in English, please feel free to type it in whatever your native language is. We have people on the line who can speak Dutch, French, Spanish, German. We're here to be accommodating for you guys. So if you look at the bottom bar of your screen, you'll see a little Q&A button there. That's where you're going to type your question. And just as a note, all of you are actually muted and your videos are muted as well. This is just to make sure that no one's talking over each other. But if someone does ask a question that they need to expand on, then we can, of course, unmute you and let you talk. Another thing as well, if your question needs, additional information, if we need a follow-up, of course we can do that. And just as a service, this video is also going to be recorded as well and will be uploaded on our YouTube channel. So if you have a peer or someone in your office that wasn't able to make it, then you can share that with them as well. So without further ado, I will go ahead and pass it on to Cavell.
All right, thanks, Patience. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone that's on. As Patience mentioned, my name is Cavell Benjamin. I lead the product and UX team, and I'm going to take you through FlipTop. So the agenda is as follows. We'll talk through some key problem statements. We'll go through the product lineup, some common workflows and configuration. Again, we'll get through a hardware demo, and then I'll wrap up with summary and availability of the product, and then we'll get into Q&A. So problem statements. For us, we really focused on three key things with FlipTop: ensuring security for high value items like cutting tools, individual accountability for those items, and we'll talk more about how that's set up in our security model, and then high capacity in a small footprint. And we believe we've managed to solve all of these with FlipTop. So this is really focused on a few key segments: metalworking, again, cutting tools, some MRO, and you'll usually find these, of course, within the precision manufacturing industry, metalworking, fabrication, mostly a manufacturing space where this product has its best use. So what's in the lineup? The first is the large machine, which is called FlipTop, and this has the most capacity and configurability. The mini, which is the balance of size and capacity. As you can see here, it sits on a table, but it's also available on a trolley. And we have the wall, which is ideal for a production cell. And with each of these machines, most of the space is used, up to 95% of the space is used for your items. So let's get a little deeper into the items at a glance. So FlipTop, it's a freestanding machine, up to 9 drawers, close to 1,800 bins that you could potentially have in there, depending on how you configure it. The dimensions are shown with a set 432 millimeter monitor, and PC, keyboard, mouse, and UPS or uninterruptible power sources available. For the mini, it sits on a desktop or a trolley. You can have up to 4 drawers. 384 bins are available depending on the configuration. Again, size is shown there with a 381 millimeter monitor size. And again, PC, keyboard, mouse, and UPS are included. For the wall mount, it's simply a drawer turned on its side. So at most you can have 198 bins. Again, dimensions are shown with a 256 millimeter all-in-one package with the monitor, and keyboard and mouse are included. They're not, of course, always attached, and there is no UPS on the wall machine. So workflows. A typical user workflow for this product is the same as you would have in any CribMaster product. You select your item in the software via text or visually. The difference is with this product, you now have an LED light that indicates when the drawer is available for opening. So you only have access to that drawer. Once you pull the drawer open, there are the bins that you have that only open, only the bin that you have access to opens. And instead of you having to manually close the bins, you have what's called auto lock, and we'll talk through that a little bit more in a minute, that will automatically close the bins for you. And this is a feature that's standard on our product. Replenishment workflow. So this workflow is, of course, important for replenishing product, our distributors, and we know it takes time. And we believe that this feature, auto lock, helps us get through the replenishment process faster. So again, if you are replenishing bins, you would select the item that you need to replenish. All of the bins would open once you have access to the drawer, so you can replenish all of the bins at the same time for a particular item. And then once you're done, instead of having to individually close those bins, you simply close the drawer and auto lock automatically closes all those bins for you. So once again, we believe that, helping our customers go through this workflow, we can get them through that workflow a lot faster and provides a significant time savings. So let's talk a little bit more about the security model that we have. For us, we talk about whether things are high security or if they're medium security. And this configuration, some of the configurations that you have for your machine, you can have extremely high security, which means that you have only one item in a bin. And as you can see here, only the drawer with the selected item unlocks, as mentioned before. And then again, you can restrict item access to the individual bins. You can do this by restricting the user, restricting the item, and user-defined fields. You can then rework items before new, which again is important for cutting tools. You can optimize your supply chain and product mix through reporting, real-time visibility through our software with notification and alerts. And overall, you can reduce the operations downtime and prevent stockouts with your product. So configuration. Again, for the large machine, you can have up to 9 drawers. And for the configuration, you can choose from a 50 millimeter, a 75 millimeter, or a 100 millimeter drawer. These bins that you have in the drawers can either be square, the smallest size, which is 198 bin layout, or they can be wider or deeper bins, similar to the rectangular bins that you see here. And again, each configured drawer comes with auto lock. And you see here, auto lock is a set of rollers that sits over the drawer so that when you close it, all of the bins automatically close. So for each configuration, you have a set of drawers that you can choose from. 14 for the large, 14 drawers for the mini, and 4 configurations for the wall. And you can mix drawer heights within a particular machine, again, up to 9 drawers. And then some pre-existing configured sizes are all one, again, all one size bin, or they are multiple sizes, and we'll talk about that in just a second. So drawer configurations in a little bit more detail. So as you can see here, you have the choice of using an 18, a 36, or a 66 bin configuration and drawer. These are all examples. And as you can see for the 18, those are a mix as opposed to all the same size bins. For the 36 and 66, you'll note that they have the same height. And so if you do have a need to have more capacity, or you need to change because of the items that you have in your machine, you could potentially swap out the drawer 36 for a drawer 66. We recommend that you only do this for drawers of the same height in the field. Bin naming. So the bin naming is straightforward, and it should be recognizable if you've used our software before. The first is the crib, then the drawer number, then the column, which is across the front of the drawer, the row, which is going towards the back of the drawer. So an example here would be crib 10, drawer 1, column 2, row 2. And that effectively would be this bin sitting here, if this were an individual bin. Anything else, any other size, similar to what you're seeing here, would be as follows: the crib, the drawer, the column, the row, and the number of cells occupied. And so an example here would be crib 9, drawer 1, column 2, row 2, cell 1. And then an empty drawer is effectively the crib and the drawer, and then any alphanumeric set of characters that you wish to have after that. So let's try it. You have your drawer in a crib, and the crib is 1, 2, 3, 4. And so the first bin would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then 1. And it's only, so the first drawer, which is here, and then 01, which is the column, and then 01, which is the row. All right. So let's see what the second one looks like. 1, 2, 3, 4, again, the crib, drawer 1, 02, we moved 1 cell over. And then 01, we are still in the first row. All right. Now, let's see if you can guess.
So if you look on the bottom banner of your Zoom panel, you'll see that I just launched a question. If you click on the little button that says poll with the graphs, you can vote on which, you can try it out yourself and vote which answer you think is correct. We'll give you guys a couple of minutes, and then we'll reveal the right answer.
We still don't have our Jeopardy music. That's okay.
We got some brave folks coming in.
Yes. So again, for the yellow and orange bins, it's the second drawer in crib 1, 2, 3, 4. And again, the crib naming convention is below.
Okay, some people are getting brave, and don't worry, this is anonymous, so we're not gonna tell everyone who said what. Okay. We were tied on answers. Now we got some more people voting.
All right.
Oh, just a couple more. Come on, I know you guys can do it. Come on, just a few more. You guys are holding out on me. We'll give you guys a pass, though. We didn't translate this question in everyone's native language, so.
This is true. Are we ready?
Yeah. Yeah, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and end the poll.
All
Thanks,
right.
guys, for playing.
So the answers are for bin 1, again, crib 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's drawer 2. And then you still have your first column, first row, but you're occupying 3 spaces. And then for number 2, Bin number 2, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, again, the crib. You have the second drawer, but then you're starting at the 4th column, still in the 1st row, but you're occupying 3 spaces. So again, the answer should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 1, 3. And then bin 2 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4, 1, 3.
All right, 56% of you guys got it right. So good job.
Awesome, awesome. All right, so configuration in 3 simple steps working with us. You can provide your crib and bin information. We'll provide you a data set to load in a SIEM client, and then you assign your items to your bins. So, of course, you have to size your items. And I want to walk through a couple of examples of common items and the recommended drawer sizes or the bin sizes that we recommend. So for the 198, which is the individual or the smallest bin, which is the maximum capacity, you would put things like burr, center drills, chamfer mills, countersinks, and these are intended to be vended individually. If you have packs, that would be considered medium security, and more than likely you would need to go with a larger bin size. For the 99 or the slightly larger set of bins, these are drill bits, end mills, key hexes, hex keys, screw, machine screw tools, and for this configuration, again, a little bit longer, again, vending individual items. And if you have a pack or a group of them, again, medium security, and you would go to a larger bin size. And the last is inserts, reamers, and taps. Again, slightly larger, but it depends on if you're going to vend them individually or in packs. Ultimately, you have to make the decision that's best for you as far as your configuration. And this is going to be based on the item value. Again, the focus here is for high value items. Again, cutting tools, how you're using them, the level of security that you're looking for. If you're looking for high security, vending individual items, or potentially medium security, where you vend a pack and someone uses multiple items from that pack throughout the day. And also footprint. We have multiple choices, be it the large, the mini, or the wall. And depending on how you have your configuration across your facility, if things are spread out, if things need to be localized, you have options between the large, the small, and the wall. And then, of course, replenishment. Highlighting this again with auto lock, replenishment, we believe, is significantly faster, with you being able to get to all of your bins at once that you need to replenish, and then closing those bins all at once with auto lock within a particular drawer when you're done. And then eventually you may need to scale up. And so you can add up to 3 auxiliary units. So you can get just over 7,000 bins in your facility within a very, very small space. As well as you can add this machine to your existing fleet of CribMaster products. So you can aux this machine, or it can be a main to a ProLock, a ProStock, a Toolbox, or a multi-store. And now we'll get into the hardware demo.
Thank you, Cavell, for your presentation. As you can see, I'm from our showroom here in Brussels. CribMaster. Indeed, we have already successfully installed the first mini FlipTop, and we felt to get that opportunity to bring it closer, present to our customers and have a look and feel of the machine closely. So I'm moving now next to the machine and will be sharing my screen from there. Here it is. Here we go. First, I will go a quick presentation of the hardware components of the machine. As you can see, we have a mini FlipTop here, which has 4 different 4 drawers, and all of them are equally in the terms of height So all of them are 70 millimeters drawers. The machine comes along with this screen, which is 15-inch, quite nice and bright. And I would like just to open the cover of it to quickly show you the internal part of that. As Cavell mentioned, there's a UPS unit right here, which lasts about 15 minutes to protect the machine against any electrical failure. So the employee, the operator, can finalize the operation going on. Here you see this is the mini PC installed that run the software of the machine. And in the back end of the machine, in the closure, there is the card, the communication card that serves to connect auxiliary machines to the main one. I will close the cover and we'll have a quick look now to the software, to the ADR, which is the same as all our machines. So let's have a zoom look next to it, and I'll run a few transactions. A typical one will be a first and issue transaction from the machine. So here I go with my badge number. And as you can see on the screen, I have a few items already configured in their bins. And I would like to issue the first item by simply selecting that, clicking on the issue button. And there I would like to show you the LED on the machine, which is blinking, means that I need to open that drawer. I'll pull that out. And here it is, the bin, already the lid is open, where the input operator can take out the item. So as you can see from that configuration, and all the rest of the drawers have the same configuration in this mini flip top. We have square bins, the same size, and in total we have 96 of them. I don't need, at the end of the operation, either you can close that, or if not, there is this auto lock bar that helps the operator to simply pushing that back, and it is successfully closed. Let us run another transaction from the ADR, a typical what Cavell mentioned, fast replenishment, which is quite important for this machine. So I would like to take you to that transaction. As you can see, I am logged in with my name as an admin user, so I will go quickly to do replenishment. Here is the list of my open purchase orders at the moment. I'll select one of them. The ordered quantity for that one, for instance, is 76. So in this case, I will do a partial replenishment by adjusting the quantity, saying I will be replenishing only 20 items of that. Here I click enter. The typical message that the quantity of 20 is less than the purchase order quantity of 76. In this case, I will mark that as an incomplete replenishment. So clicking at the no button and then simply receive. There is the warning message that I have to put one item in every bin, in each bin. By clicking that, I'll go to, again, this is the red indicating which drawer I need to open. I'll pull that out. And I can see that 20 bins that I have selected are all popping up, where the replenisher can quickly replenish all these bins very quickly without any time losing. So as you see, what Cavell mentioned is very important to have that kind of rapidity, that kind of ability to replenish the bins in a very fast way. Again, once I have done my replenishment, I don't need to close each of them manually, but just simply let us do another. Here we go. Let us do another transaction, such as return, in case you have durables. So I'll go to the return button, and I'd like to return that item that is issued out by simply clicking return. The typical, again, in this case is my fourth drawer right here. And there is the bin, then I can return the item back to the machine. So it's quite easy, it's straightforward, as you can see. Just by this LEDs blinking allows us to understand which drawer shall I pull out, and then the lid will open pop up itself to put the item back in or issue it out from the machine. I think that is what I would like to share with you today in terms of the machine. If you have any questions, please feel free to write them down, and we can again come back to this to the screen. Thank you.
That was awesome, Dritan. Thank you for that.
All right, Dritan, thank you very much. So let's get back into the presentation. So I walked through very high level what the problem statements were, and again, focusing on value. We believe that security, accountability, and capacity are three key problem statements for our customers that we believe are solved with FlipTop. And for the main segments of metalworking, cutting tools, and MRO, this is a product that provides a level of security that we think is unparalleled within the market. And we do this across three products within the lineup. We have the FlipTop, FlipTop Mini, and Wall. You have multiple configurations that you can choose from, 32 in total, 14 for the large, 14 for the Mini, and 4 for the Wall. And again, it's scalable. You can aux this machine to itself, but then of course, if you are familiar with CribMaster products, you can aux this machine to existing CribMaster products, or it could be a main for existing CribMaster products. So availability, it's available now in the Americas and in Europe with a 12 to 15 week lead time. We also have pre-configured machines that are available in limited supply. And we chose a set of configurations that we felt would be important for our customers, again, that have a need for high value items that are using more than likely cutting tools or some of the other items mentioned here. So please reach out to our sales organization if you are interested, and they can walk you through how to configure your machine. So with that, we'll actually turn it over for questions.
All right, awesome. Thanks so much, Cavell. So again, there is a question box on the bottom bar of your Zoom screen, so please feel free to type that there. And if you did join late, just to let everyone know, we do have a multilingual panel of experts here, so if you don't feel comfortable asking your question in English, please feel free to type it out in your native language. And it looks like we have a couple of questions coming in. There isn't a stylus pin included that I saw. Can one be used by employees?
Yes, there's one that is available. There's a specific one, and we can share the details later.
All right, awesome. Let me see here. All right, Monica, do you mind jumping in the chat really quickly and assisting with this question? And while she's doing that, in the meantime, let me ask another that we had come through. Are the touch screens, and this could be for Melanie, but Cavell as well, are the touch screens protected from typical oils and lubricants the employees typically have on their hands within a cutting tool environment?
So I can take it, you or Melanie. I mean, right now the material is it's a standard 17, 15, and 10.1 inch screen. And so you would walk through your standard cleaning procedures that you would do for cleaning your monitor in any situation. Melanie can give you a little bit more detail, and then we can share material afterwards as well.
Yeah, there is for those that have access to our research side, there is a cleaning procedure in our research side that you can also use to keep your machines clean.
All right, just sent that question to our, okay. Dritan, I don't know if you see the question in the chat, but you can also see a drawer with a larger compartment content.
Say that again, patient.
Yeah.
Let me send it to all of the panelists here. Sorry about that. Can you also see a drawer with larger compartment content?
So as far as larger compartments, again, you have the choice of having the most dense, which is the 198, or you have the option of choosing compartments that are mixed and larger. And I'm going back through the slides to show the configuration. I would also suggest pulling down the configuration guide, which is available on our resource site as well, so that you can go through all of the standard configurations. So again, you can see that 198 is the most dense with the smallest bins. Then you have a 99 as an example, all 66 as an example of bin sizes. And hopefully that answers the question.
Yeah, for these bigger bins, like you can see in your screen, a bin takes more than one column. If you think about 198, each bin is a 1 by 1. It occupies the space of one column and one row. And as the bin grows, it will start occupying either multiple columns or multiple rows. That's how the bin grows. So in this case, for the 66, you can see that that bin occupies 3 columns instead of 1 as the 198.
All right, awesome. Thanks, guys. We got a lot of good questions coming in. Do you have problems with drawers sticking or catching on products when the drawer shuts? It seems like it would be easy to unlock if there is a problem.
So I'll talk through, again, the intent is for you to individually vend items. And so the item, of course, when you size it, you want to make sure that there is space around the item so that it doesn't catch. And we'll have people available to help you size to make sure that you do have the right space around the item so that it doesn't catch. I'll turn it over to Melanie to talk about manual entry into the machine because we do have some options there.
Yeah, so let's say your machine for some reason or your bin stopped responding. We have a procedure to manual override a bin. And it's basically turning, it's hard to demonstrate without the proper images, but you turn a key under the hood to release the drawers so you can manually open the drawers. And then you can see where the outer lock image is, that key lock inside the drawer. You'll turn that after you are manually able to open drawers. You will turn that key, and then there is a T-shaped screwdriver that you can push through the holes and push a lever, and then all the bins in that particular column will pop open. If you would like to see how that is or the steps to complete manual override, you can also download the manual from the resource site. And there is a step-by-step instruction of how that's completed.
Awesome, thanks guys, great question. Next question is on software. So Chris, is the software completely compatible with the standard CribMaster software? The reason I ask is I have in mind a situation where a customer may wish to use the screen to access other vending systems.
So the system is compatible with CribMaster software. We designed it that way. Kind of need a little more elaboration on what they're attempting to attach it to another machine or another system to run. I'm not really sure what it's an odd one.
Yeah, and that's fine.
And if it's an
go ahead,
aux,
Melanie.
let's say you already have an existing CribMaster as a main, and you will like FlipTop to be an aux. That's how you share computers with this system, because you no longer need a display, right? Because you already have one and you already have a computer. You can attach a FlipTop aux to a CribMaster.
Right, and currently the versions that are available for you to operate the FlipTop is the latest version of 10.1.5 and 11. Keep in mind that 11 will have a little more features available to you than 10.1.5. So highly encourage that you upgrade. You have your customers upgrade to the latest versions of 11. This is a continuing developing product. So for every release that we are doing, we are adding fixes or enhancements to the software to support the FlipTop and increase functionality for the end users.
Yeah, and also to remind everyone, in this image are the options for CribMaster Main or aux is the multi-store, the Pro Stock, Pro Log, and Toolbox. Those could be mains to a FlipTop aux, or if you have a FlipTop main, these could be auxes as well.
All right, awesome. Thanks for that. And Adrian, I did reply to your question, but what we can do after the meeting is follow up with you in an email, and then you can, explain the situation a little bit more, and we can try to help answer that question. Next question, can multiple items be drawn at the same time from multiple drawers without it being set as a pack? I'm assuming our kit. So select all items you want drawn at once.
Yes, you can. The workflow is as follows. First, the drawers will open that you have access to. So for all the items that are in a given drawer, that drawer will open, and then the bins will open. Once you close that drawer, then the next drawer that contains the items that you have access to will open. So you can do all of the items at once. The workflow is that it's one drawer at a time as far as access.
You also have the option of using the shopping cart to select multiple items.
Correct. Yeah.
List, and then issuing. Again, we've made several enhancements to the shopping cart feature to support the FlipTop. So again, highly encourage that an upgrade is done to the latest version of 11, to get the most out of this machine.
Thanks, Chris.
Is the shopping cart available in 10 or just 11?
Shopping cart is only available in 11. It was never included in 10.
Okay.
All right, awesome. Thanks, guys. And before I get into the next question, I actually did have a follow-up from our software question. So Adrian said, I envision the situation where you may have another product within the customer site, but you wish to know where it resides within the site and vending system. So I don't know if we need to follow up with that after the call, maybe think over a little bit more, or if you guys had a solution to that.
Yeah, we may want to follow up with that after the call. I think that would make sense.
All right, sounds good. Adrian, look out for an email from myself after the call. And thanks again for expanding on that question. We got a couple more questions coming in. You guys are talkative, thank you. Okay, next question. Is it possible to use this machine as a POU?
I think it would be interesting to understand the use case there versus the use cases that we've been looking at. So I believe Johan asked that question. If he could provide a little bit more insight around his use case, that would be awesome.
Yep, and you can either type it in the question box, or if you'd rather us follow up in an email, just let me know and we can send that out. This is actually a question that I can answer. Can I get the presentation in a PowerPoint? So just to ask Cavell, you know, obviously we're okay with sending this out. There will be a follow-up email that will be sent to everyone that attended as well. And that'll include all of our collateral and then this recording as well. And then we can, of course, send that presentation too. Next question. Does it have a modem to send reports, or do you need to use your customer's network?
So the product today is Ethernet. And so you will have to be hardwired into a network.
All right, sounds good. Let me look through these questions some more. You guys had a lot of good questions, so we appreciate that. And then, of course, if you know you have a question that pops up in the middle of the day, maybe something you forgot to ask, then please feel free to reach out to anyone on this webinar, and we can get back to you. We had a question about barcode readers. So lead time for barcode readers being an option for FlipTop. Katie?
Yep, so currently today, barcode is not an option, but it is one that we have been evaluating a part of the backlog. And so it is something that's coming in the next release of FlipTop. So.
Awesome, thanks, Katie. Another question. I have a customer which uses a lot of cutting tools. They are also big customers of, big consumers of bigger items, which do not fit inside this machine. Can they use the software to keep track of the items which are not physically inside the machine? So physically inside FlipTop.
So I think this is where it goes back to you have to choose the right set of solutions for you. And the page that we're on actually shows how this FlipTop can be a main or an aux to a Pro Stock, a Pro Lock, or a multi-store. And as you can see, each one of those machines actually has capacity for larger items. And so if you are using the CribMaster platform, you can leverage the platform to add a multi-store or add a Pro Lock to the customer site. And now they have the ability to manage these larger items in addition to the small high value cutting tools.
Great, thanks, Cabell. Let's look through the questions. We have a couple more. And again, you guys feel free to type these questions in your native language. We have experts throughout our panel that'll be able to help you. Let me see. Estimated time to build / ship. I know we kind of addressed that in the PowerPoint, but Cabell, do you mind talking about that again?
Sure, let me go to the page. So again, today it's available in the Americas and Europe. It's 12 to 15 weeks lead time. And again, we have some pre-configured machines. So I would suggest if you are thinking about a configuration based upon reading the configuration guide, please reach out to our sales team and they can walk you through. And maybe there's an option that you can leverage one of the pre-existing configurations which would be a shorter lead time, or you would get a machine built for your needs, which would be the 12 to 15 weeks.
Awesome, thanks. And a question on mobility, and I know this can differ from, you know, the main, the mini, and the wall, but is this unit mobile? There wasn't a specific on which is mobile.
Yep, so the FlipTop is not mobile. That is intended to actually be stationary. There are rollers on there. However, they are not intended to remain on those casters. It's actually intended to, the casters be raised up and actually sit on feet. The Mini is able to sit on a table, but there is an available trolley for the Mini that is sold separately. And then the wall, of course, is meant to be stationary. And so that one you would place on a wall, wouldn't move at all unless you needed to change around a cell or something else of that nature.
All right, awesome, thank you. Here's a question. Do I have to fill up all the bins and drawers?
No, it's really up to you. And when we say up to 9 drawers, if you or your customer so chooses, you could do 1 drawer in a mini. You could do a wall. You could do 4 drawers in a large machine. It really is dependent upon how you want to configure and your needs for expansion. And that's one of the things to consider. So I mentioned before replacing drawers out in the field. We encourage you to think about the height of your drawers as you make the decisions. And so if you need to swap out drawers for more compartment space, then you would do that within the same height. If you are choosing an empty drawer, today in the field, it's not possible to swap out an empty drawer. So it really does depend on how you want to configure. And that's why I say, please connect with our commercial team, our sales team, to help you decide what you need now, as well as what do you think you're going to need over time.
Awesome, thanks for that. So this is more of a software question, but I feel like, you know, Chris, you or anybody on the panel could really tag team this. To use FlipTop as a calibration machine, when you have returnable items, can your software count down the number of uses and then lock the item out of use, indicating it needs to be sent away to be calibrated? As an example, small pin gauges that need to be sent away after 50 uses.
Absolutely. So there are, those are called serialized items or gauged items. So the system is set up that we can set that up for you. The setup process is not very complicated. We actually have information available for you to use on resource.cribmaster.com. If you don't have an account there, you have the ability to set up an account, and then you would have access to all of our documentation on the steps. You also have the option to reach out to your support team, and they will be available to help you configure and or give you some guidance on setting up those options. Patience, if you can jot that name down, I can see if I can compile that information and email it over.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, and Chris made a good point. So all of this collateral and everything that we've mentioned here is available on the resource site, and it is translated as well. So you can either, I was the one that set up the tag, so I can help you with that. But if you just type in what it is with, you know, Dutch, German, French, Spanish, then you'll be able to see all of those results translated. So you'll be able to pull that and download that. Tom, I will take down your name and send it over to Chris so he can get back to you on that. All right, and we got a couple more good questions. We do have about 10 minutes for the call, so we don't want to take up any more of y'all's time, but we do appreciate that you guys took an hour out of your day to spend with us. So question, if an operator draws the incorrect stock item from the FlipTop, is a supervisor required to return the stock to the bin?
No,
so that's
go
really
ahead, Chris.
Okay, that's really dependent on your configuration setups. So if your employees have the ability to return items, especially if they're durables, then yes, they would have that ability. But we also have options in the system that reduces the ability for users to return items back into the bin, where yes, a supervisor would then be required. So it's more of a configuration setup question on whether or not you're allowing your end users to return an item in case there was a misissue for whatever reason.
All right, awesome. It looks like last question here, unless anybody has anything else. If it is hardwired, does your customer need to have antivirus software to protect the vending unit?
So as a standard, we do not install antivirus on our systems. I recommend any system that is connected to the internet that there is some sort of antiviral software installed. But as far as a configuration setup for what we do not include that, but I highly encourage that it is all machines that are Windows-based and connected to the internet have some sort of virus protection on them. That is usually managed by the network administrators at the site themselves.
That was a great question. We have not had that question yet, so thank you. Thanks, Tom. All right, I will give it one more minute. Anybody else have any burning questions? Again, if you think of something later in the day, please feel free to reach out to anybody on this call and we'll help you as well. All right. Well, looks like that was it. A lot of great questions. You guys have been one of our most active audiences, so awesome job. And again, awesome job on the poll too. You guys really know your stuff. But again, I just really wanted to thank everybody for taking time out of their day to join us for this FlipTop Lunch and Learn. We really hope that this was incredibly helpful to you, and that hardware demo was awesome. Again, shout out to Dritan for coordinating that. So again, this recording is going to be available on our YouTube, CribMaster at youtube.com. We also have our social media pages where we'll be posting this as well. So if you'd like to share, show one of your peers, please feel free to follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. And with that, I will go ahead and close it up. I hope you guys have a great afternoon, great morning, wherever you are, and have an awesome rest of your week. Thanks, guys. Bye.